What are rational numbers? Let's find out. So we have taken a number line, and now the number line goes from negative infinity to positive infinity, right? And these are some of the integers on our number line. So the question is, let's take any two consecutive integers. So in this case, we have taken -1, -2. So what is in this space? Similarly, if we take two consecutive integers, 3 and 4, what is filled in this space? So in other words, if you look at these markers or these numbers on the number line, we have these gaps or these spaces in between. Are these spaces completely empty? They are vacuum? Or there are things or numbers hidden inside them? Let's find that out. We are on the journey to investigate this matter. So we have taken a number line, and now we are going to randomly pick any two consecutive integers. So let's say we pick 0 and 1. And we are going to take a big giant magnifying glass and we are going to zoom in this space between 0 and 1. Now we will divide them into 10 equal parts. So it will look something like this. So you may ask, why 10 equal parts? Why not 5 equal parts or 3 equal parts or 15 equal parts? It's a valid question, and this is completely arbitrary. So for now, we have divided them into 10 equal parts. Now, what is important to understand is, on a number line, the measure between any two consecutive numbers is how much? It is 1 unit, right? Each of these consecutive numbers, they are 1 unit away. So here we have taken a 1 unit and we have divided them into 10 equal parts. So how much is this part? How much are these? What is the measure of these? Remember, they are all equal. So we have 10 equal parts, right? 10 parts, and they equal to 1, because this 0 to 1 is simply this 0 to 1, right? So then that means each part, so one part will measure how much? Well, it will be then 1 over 10. If 10 parts is 1, then one part will be 1 divided by 10, right? So each of these are 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 1 over 10. Now let's say we wanted to find out this point. Let's call it A. And let's say we also wanted to find out this point. Let's call it B. So we want to know what is point A and what is point B. Now, first of all, understand we are still between 0 and 1. So our point A is somewhere probably over here and point B is somewhere over here. They're still within 0 and 1. How do we get to point A? So we have to start from 0, and then we have to go 1, 2. We have to cover 2 parts, right? So for point A, we have to start at 0, plus we have to go 2 parts, and each part is 1 over 10, right? So in other words, it will be 0 plus 2 over 10, or simply 2 over 10. So A is 2 over 10. So this is kind of surprising because we all are integers, they look like this, right? And now we have found a point A within 0 and 1 that looks like this, right? Let's check out point B. So how do we find out point B? To get to point B, we again have to start at 0, right? 0. And this is how many parts away? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts away. So 0 plus 7 of 1 over 10 parts away, or simply 0 plus 7 by 10, or 7 by 10. So we have found out another point which looks like 7 over 10. So by extension, you can see each one of them. So if this were point C, you can find out, so C will be actually 9 over 10. So suddenly we have found out 10 different points between 0 and 1, and they look like this. So the first one will be 1 over 10. This is 2 over 10. and this is 9 over 10, so on and so forth. Let's take a look at one more example. So here is a number line, and now this time let's take randomly maybe these two consecutive integers, 2 and 3. Let's zoom it in. Let's divide them into 10 equal parts again. Now, so remember again, this is 2 and 3 zoomed in, right? So 0 is probably somewhere over here. Maybe this is 0, which is this 0, right? Now, again, each of these parts is 1 over 10 because this unit is 1, right? And we have divided them into 10 equal parts. So each of these each of them are equal parts, and they are 1 over 10. So if you were to find out this point, let's call it C. Let's find out this point, which is D. Let's find out this point, let's call it E. So we want to find out these 3 points, C, D, and E. So how will we do it? So to find out C, well, so first we have to, from 0, we have to go 2 units to get to 2. And our C, D, and E are somewhere in between here, right? So first we have to go from 0 to 2. And then we have to find out, how far away they are from 2, correct? So from 0, we have to get to 2 first. Plus, now how far away from 2? Point C is 2 units. So 1 or 2 parts, I should say. 2 parts away. 2 parts away, and each part is 1 by 10. So we have 2 plus 2 over 10. So this will be 22 over 10. How far is point D? Where is point D? So point D is, again, we have to first get to 2, and then D is 2, 3, 4, 5 parts away. So it will be first we have to get to 2 plus 5 parts away, and each part is 1 by 10 again. So we have 2 plus 5 over 10. So if you solve this, this will be 1, 10, so 10 is the denominator, 1 tens, 2 tens are 20, plus 5, or 25 by 10. Similarly, point E will be, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So point E will be, we have to again get to 2 plus 8 of equal parts, each part 1 over 10. So we have 2 plus 8 over 10, or this will be 28 over 10. So what we are seeing here is that we are finding out all these unbelievably looking numbers in between these integers, right? And they don't look like integers. Before we conclude, let's take a look at one final example. This time, let's take 2 negative numbers, 2 consecutive negative integers. So here we have taken -3 and -4. Let's zoom it in and let's divide them into 10 equal parts. So because we are on the left side of 0, so our 0 is now somewhere over here, right? This is -3, -4, and this will be -infinity, right? So now, if you were to find out this point, right? Let's call it like maybe F, and let's call this point G. So let's find out G and F. So to get to G, what do we need to do? First, we have to get to 3, right? And then from 3, we have to get this far, right? So similarly, again, even if it is on the left-hand side and these are negative numbers, the difference between consecutive integers is still 1, right? That means they are all 1 units apart, right? So this length, -4 and -3, this whole length is 1. And because we have divided them into 10 equal parts, so each one of them, the measure of each equal parts is still 1 over 10. 1 over 10. All of them are 1 over 10, right? So to get to, let's do point G first. So to get to point G, we have to first get to -3. So it will be exactly the same as the right side, except we have to put the negative sign in front. So let's do this. So let's put the negative sign here and let's then put everything in a big giant bracket. So we have to get to 3 units. So from 0, again, my points G and F, they are basically in between -3 and -4, right? So to get to these 2 points, I have to first go from here to G, to -3, I should say. So here I have to first get to -3, right? So I'm going to put the minus sign out. So I have to cover 3 units, right? And then to get to G, I have to go how many parts? I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. So first I have to get to 3, plus I have to get 8 parts, and each part is 1/10. So this is how I can get to point G. So if you solve this, let's do it over here. So you have the minus sign in front. Why do I have the minus sign in front? Because we are on the left side of 0 and these are negative numbers or integers. So I have minus sign here, then I have 3 plus this will be 8/10. It will be 8/10. And when you actually simplify, it will be 30 plus 8, 38/10, or minus 38/10. So now we have found out the point G is minus 38/10. Similarly, what about point F? So to get to point F, we have to do minus parenthesis. So we have to get to 3 first, -3 that is, plus we have to go 1, 2, 3 units away, 3 parts away. So 3 times 1/10, or minus, here this will be 3 plus 3/10, or we should say this will be minus 33/10, or if you take the bracket out, it will be minus 33/10. So this is our point F, and this is a point G. So what we are noticing is we are getting these kind of numbers, like some number over some number, and while we were on the right side of 0, these numbers were positive, and while we are on the left side of 0, these numbers are negative. So clearly it sounds like there are these numbers within any 2 consecutive integers on the number line.